What is next for a lot of these top athletes? We're going to review some matchups, but let's first talk about Vitali versus Levan, because Vitali called out Levan after his extremely quick win against Jerry Cataract, completely destroying him. And he called out Levan. They had a little face-off here. It's been 6 years since they faced in the top 8. And see what people are thinking on this match. Who would win? 78% for Levan. Pretty high favorite. Everyone says they have a chance against Levan until they meet him on the table. Vitali is getting stronger, but Levan still low, medium, difficult. Maybe 170 kilogram Vitali stands a better chance. Vitali's wrist got cracked completely by Michael. Ermi stopped Michael better than Vitali did. And Ermi's wrist got completely cracked by Levan. This shows how much different Levan is than the other competitors. No chance for Vitali. I hope he can do something for the sake of excitement in the super heavyweight division, as Levan has just been so unbelievably dominant that it almost is hard to find anyone who anyone thinks is going to even get around against him, basically. Heart saying Vitali, mind saying Levan, says this person. Got a Russian comment. Vitali is good, but Levan is beyond him. Things will change with time. And, I mean, by time, do you mean like Levan retiring? Because it's hard to see anyone beating him while he's competing, basically. All right, let's look at some other potential matchups here. Devin Larratt versus Dadakian on the left. Dadakian beat Camille. Devin lost to Camille in their last match, but still 62% think Devin would beat Dadakian. That would not be an easy match, in my opinion. Let's read a couple comments. David is overall stronger on the left arm, but it's still no use because stylistically Devin is a nightmare for him, since he most probably can't hook Devin with Devin's pronation. Yeah, maybe he can win a round or two, but I think over time his pronation will gas out Dadakian's wrist, and I think endurance can be a problem for Dadakian. We saw that against Morozov when they faced at King of the Table, and in other matches as well. Dadakian's so fast and explosive, but his endurance can be a problem if it gets pretty nasty into the later rounds. What about Dadakian versus Muratov? 60% for Alajan. Think he would win. This is the most wanted match right now, says this person. What about Dadakian versus Vitali? Should he go right to Vitali, or should he face Alajan first, and then the winner should face Vitali for the #1 in the world? I think those are potential matchups. We got a Kazakhstan supporter. I hate that it finished on fouls, says this person. I think referring to the Camille and Dadakian match. And then, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You can't foul. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? But what about Todd Hutchings? Should he face Irakli for the 4th time? I don't think so. I think we've seen enough Todd Hutchings versus Irakli, but him versus Petrenko at 105 would be interesting, although I think Yoshi Kanai versus Petrenko at 105 would also be interesting. So, not sure which one I want to see more. But Rustam, I think Todd had mentioned Rustam Babayev. He wants to face him, so maybe that's the next matchup. And I just put Nugo in here. Of course, a lot of people want to see Nugo, even though his hype kind of went down a little bit after he got pretty comfortably handled by Petrenko there last night. But all right, here's Vitali versus Dadakian poll. 89% for Vitali. Huge favorite. Vitali destroyed Jerry 3-0, even worse than Ermes and Levan. Rip Devin. It's the #1 comment. So yeah, I think Vitali's definitely the favorite, but Dadakian, I wouldn't be surprised if he can get some wins on Vitali. Todd Hutchings and Petrenko, 63% think Todd Hutchings would win. Let's read the comments. Oleg easy, says this person. What's wrong with people? It should be 90-10 for Oleg. Wow. Okay, so a lot of people actually think Oleg can beat Todd Hutchings. I don't think so. I think I would have Todd Hutchings as a favorite probably, but would be interesting to see that matchup, I think. And then Dave Chaffee, he mentioned Matyashenko and also Reno Masic after he won his match as potential opponents for him in the future. So I put up a poll on this. Big favorite for Dave Chaffee, but Ivan is so technical on the table. I would not count him out whatsoever. I think this would be a really close match. Would not be easy for Dave to win, but I think, I don't really know who I would pick on that yet, but I think that would be a good match. This person says they picked Dave Chaffee. One more poll here, and that is Mindaugas versus Engen. We saw Mindaugas win against Usanov comfortably yesterday, but I'm kind of surprised he's such a heavy favorite against Engen, but that's interesting. Which of these matchups are you most excited for? Of course, I think Vitali Levan is the one I'm most excited about, but then also seeing maybe Todd Hutchings and Petrenko, and seeing Levan on the left, and seeing Dadikyan, seeing Alajan come back as well would be pretty cool. But hit like and subscribe if you enjoy the arm wrestling content, guys.